What up, my people? Hope everybody's enjoying this fine Thursday. Do me a favor, hit that like button. That'd be very much appreciated. Also, make sure you check me out on Instagram if you do not mind. This video is brought to you by Tricky Dick's Insurance Agency, where they specialize in affordable, spontaneous human combustion insurance. Also, DNKKnives.com. It's a real place. They also have their own YouTube channel, which you should also check out. And if you do purchase something from there, you can use this coupon code Behind the Edge 10 to get yourself 10% off. If you would like to support the channel, there's a link to Patreon in the description, or you can join the My People channel membership, where 100% of all funds that come in will be used for knives for content. Alright, also, make sure you don't pay any attention to the animals behind me. There's nothing I can do about it, and I do apologize for that. Today, we're going to talk about my rules for use of a knife for self-defense. These are all my opinions. Please, for the love of God, do not take this video as advice, because it's not. I have no idea what I'm talking about for the most part. And just in general, I don't think it's a great idea to use a knife for self-defense. But if you absolutely had to, you know, these are some of my rules. And basically, this is just like what I consider to be common sense, which is rampantly diminishing in this country. But, you know, these are just like some talking points on the subject. Rule number one, in my opinion, absolutely, literally the most important rule by a long shot, is only as a last resort. Period. Full stop. Last resort. Yeah. You want to do your best, you know, in a situation like that. You don't always have time to think too much, but, you know, at least, you know, review your options as quickly as possible. You know, is fight or flight an option, or do they even have a weapon, whoever's threatening you? And are they threatening deadly force also? There's so many different variables that could come into play. And understand in situations like that, it just, you know, you don't have a lot of time. But just in general, last resort. That's just my opinion. Number two, make sure the knife that you are carrying is even legal where you live. Because a lot of times, a knife like this is not legal in many places. I realize it's better to be alive and in legal trouble than dead or hurt, but it's a good general idea to carry legally. Sorry, trying to get my dogs to be quiet. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm filming this video much later than usual, so they're used to being in the house at this time, and they're not yet, and it's driving them nuts. So anyway, also, if you live in a state where you can't carry a firearm, then move. You live in the wrong place. Also, is the knife that you're carrying designed for self-defense? Because, like, you know, just a regular everyday drop point folder or whatever isn't really designed for that. So if you are going to be adamant about carrying a knife for self-defense, it's probably a good idea to carry one that is designed for that task. Just, you know, a little bit of that's just my opinion. Never mind. Number three, go vital. This rule is self-explanatory in my opinion. Don't try to wing somebody or immobilize, or you may make the situation worse. Yeah, you may even enrage them more, or in which they can become more desperate or definitely more dangerous. So if you're going to do it, make it count. That's just my opinion. Again, as I said at the very beginning, do not take my video as advice. Number four, if a firearm can never be an option, consider getting some training in general self-defense, even if it has nothing to do with a knife. Keeping yourself in shape and prepared is just as important as anything, in my opinion. And you can only get so far with quality gear. You also need to know how to use it. You know, it's just like, it's cool you got a helicopter, but if you don't know how to fly the fucking thing, then it's useless. Number five, try to remain as calm and focused as possible, because you could easily make the situation worse if you panic. Many times in my life, I have come into some serious situations, and I'm not one that panics very easy, so it kind of worked out. But I have also seen other people panic, and it just turns a bad situation into Armageddon. And it's just, sometimes people can't help it. You just got to try your best to stay calm, and analyze. And remember, if you can run, it's probably a good idea just to run away, if it's an option at all. And number 6, and final, this is my final rule, really. Don't be stupid. Carry a firearm. And again, back to number 2, if you live in a state where you cannot carry a firearm, you should move, because that means they have dumb rules. Yeah, I'm not going to get political into this, but you should consider moving from somewhere that has rules about your freedoms, because there should be none. Yeah, anyway, so I like to carry these kinds of knives, and I'll carry them mostly as a secondary, never a primary, really. I usually just carry a regular folder as a primary, but I'm under no, I know I'm not a ninja, so I'm not going to pull this knife in a situation like that unless I absolutely have to. There is many other options that's going to happen before that knife gets pulled. And I really do recommend, also, in order to defend yourself with one of these, you have to be extremely close to them, which is also bad news. You want to create space as much as possible. Space and cover. And I guess the moral of this story is to use your head. Remember that a knife that is quote-unquote designed for self-defense could get you killed if you're not careful. So be careful. That's all I got for you guys tonight. Make sure you're good to each other, love each other. Try not to put yourself in a situation where you would need to have a knife or use a knife as self-defense. And once again, do not take my video as advice, because it is only an opinion, and I am just speaking into the void. All right, guys. Be good to each other. Remember, life is short, so go buy yourself a knife. Later.